Hey guys, we're back with Shadowrun Dragonfall. So, last we left off, I was camping here, hoping this fucker is gonna take care of that fucker. So... he doesn't go after... Just keep him over here just in case. Focusing on that. Didn't really do much, did it? I am doughy, so yeah, that thing died. Max, because it has a name. He doesn't have anything. I don't have any items. No. Confirm. gotta go on the defensive here because I'm out of healing items. Yeah, I can't. Okay, I can heal him, like, barely. Range of that's too low. Four, 5. One, two, three, 5. I don't know why the sound's cutting out there. I think that's what's going on. Shit. That could have gone a lot worse. All things considered. And you are standing right where I would like you to be standing. He'll miss. Yes. That could have gone worse. You. In retrospect, Glory might have been good on this mission, but whatever. That's what I have him for, I guess. miss or not. I think this is a good... Don't know what to do. I should have done that earlier, but whatever. Appear to be anyone to kill. There's a dude there. I didn't see him at all. keep glory on hand. Okay, there's this guy. Electrocore sounds like a genre of music I'm not familiar with. Okay. Minus 15%. Yeah, I should have been using this one. Sound effect is amazing. All right. There we go. So now, looks like we can finally get the fuck out of here. I still have to decide what I'm doing with... Yeah, I think we've searched this place thoroughly. I gotta decide what to do with cyber zombie. Optional. You step into the garage, prototype in tow. Before you are two vehicles that you know would be waiting, your client's van and the lodges. Nobody you knows what the presence of the second van means. Decisions, huh, Chief? He shakes his head. Can't say that I like the idea of handing this thing over to Schmidt. Lord knows what he's going to do with it. I agree with Blitz. There's a living troll buried under all that chrome. Well, it's your call, boss. Can't say I envy you the decision. Herr Schmidt, Lodge's van. As you approach the MKV, its head turns to track you. Its body is held at rigid attention. God, that's eerie. It's almost like it's waiting for something. With the MKV, I have its misery. There's a lot of ways you could handle this. If you disable its circuitries, I feel like if you disable its circuitry, it's just gonna go ape shit and kill you. I'll just give it to the lodge. Alright. You want to. I mean, the lodge knows me, so I guess if they were pissed off, they could probably find me and have me killed. So I can use that as a rationale, and I hope that they pay me better. I feel like if they didn't pay people better, they wouldn't be getting as much business as they have. Cyberzombies to the lodge. Alright. Hopefully nobody questions my leadership decisions. The Kreuzbasser. The U-Bahn feels especially cramped. On your ride back to the Kreuzbasser, in your mind's eye, you can still see the carnage that you left behind at the AG Chemie building. Memories replay themselves over and over in your mind. Fleeting visions of a hulking thing made of muscle and chrome. You put them aside, shelve them for later. Your job is over. It's time to collect your pay. Alright. I hope he doesn't fuck us over for this. Still don't know how much karma I just got. Karma 10. Your PDA rings and the face of your fixer, Paul Amsel, appears on screen. I feel like he's gonna get pissed off. Please meet us. I have uncovered some terrible information. The team is assembled in the safe house. Please meet us there when you are able. Alright. I mean, he knows probably that I've been... Alright, cheap booze. No, not quite. $50-year-old Islay Scotch. Interested in acquiring it from me. Islay, you say? Might I examine the merchandise? He takes the bottle and his smile fades for a moment as he becomes all business, examining it with a critical eye. Then as quickly as it faded, the huge smile is back. Quite a little treasure you have found. I'm sorely tempted to ask from where, in hopes of procuring more, you see, but no, it would not be polite. I would perhaps value that at 400. 500, since I've only got one supply in town. Since I got the only supply in town. Thank you, my friend. Buy already in mind for this little gem, or perhaps I shall keep it myself. It is good to always have something special on hand for a celebration. You got no use for it? Alright. It's not nothing. No, if Luca stiffs me, I fucking hate him. Welcome back, runner. The prototype was delivered safely, Herr Schmidt. Won't be happy about it, though. Alright, 2,000. Leave him to us. And regarding the MKVI, don't worry, the prototype is in good hands now. Enjoy your stay. I don't know what I was making for the other one. But 2,000 isn't unreasonable. I guess maybe the liquor is like a minimum if you feel like you wanted to, you know, an absolute minimum price if you decide to put it, if you decide to euthanize the cyber zombie. Right. Barrier. Alright, make myself a little more survivable, I guess. And what does this do? With certain spells, alright. $40 hit points, 6 armor. To Amdo. See what's for sale. Still doesn't have Nerve Bolt. One willpower and one move speed. Conjuring. I don't have anything in chi casting. Can I sell? Didn't I get? Yeah, I got like a shotgun or something. I could probably sell that. Yeah, Mossberg. Won't need this. important thing. You're blinking out of in and out of existence. Essence 1, Essence 05. .3. Okay, she hasn't leveled up yet. See what all the hubbub is. Right, pet him. Right. What's this about? As you step forward, the rest of your team falls silent. Amzal shifts his attention to you. You can see the worry on his face. I have new information. I'm afraid the news isn't good. Go on, we're listening. Two years ago, a large shipment of highly lethal radioactive bioweapon disappeared en route to a storage facility in Dresden. The weapon was designated X-15 because of course it was. I've traced the path of the missing shipment. It was delivered to the Harfeld Manor. Alright, well that sounds horrible. It is. I've heard of this stuff before. Back in the service we called it Doom. I've never run across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to know that I don't want to. The story that you've heard are correct. This Doom is an extremely dangerous substance. I've been reading up. To this day, the story of Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclonal, I don't know what the fuck that means. Antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and the substance is one of the reasons why. What does this stuff do exactly? Doom kills by destroying a host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to radioactive bismuth 212 isotope. When introduced into a host, these antibodies bind to surface-level muscle tissue. The tissue is then killed with alpha radiation. This process repeats itself until the host wastes away and dies. Jesus. I've heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in 41. After seeing what it did to people up close, the UCAS passed a unilateral ban on this stuff. If that doesn't tell you how bad it is, nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this Strek? Nothing good. That much goes without saying. The development worries me, Nose Whistle. It worries me greatly. Alright. I'm with Nose Whistle on this one. This is interesting, scary even, but doesn't actually change anything. I mean, it ups the stakes if the Firewing's allowed to carry out her plans, whatever those might be, but we're going to stop her before that happens. That was always the plan. As far as I'm concerned, it's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich, because we're all just going to agree with each other on today, alright? We need to focus on what's in front of us, whatever the dragon's larger plans might be. The fact is that she is after us. We shouldn't let ourselves get distracted by anything else. Fine, Nuns. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward, and that means that you must continue working toward raising Alice's fee. I'll leave the matter in your capable hands, Nose Whistle. When you've acquired the necessary funds and are ready to head back onto the rabbit hole, let me know. From there, we will discuss our next steps. Good. If you need me, I'll be getting prepped for the next run. Right behind you. Come on, Goy, let's go. Alright? Game saved. Alright? Job's main claim. Submit the job is finished. Here's your money. Don't ever contact us again, Schmidt. So why is he giving us money if we... Doesn't make sense. Payment from client, deductions for crew, 6,000, ammunition supply costs, 15,000, automatic deduction for Alice Fund, 11,000, remainder sent to Nose Whistle's account, payment and transfer complete. Alright. Alice Fund. Alright, it's coming along. I feel like something bad's gonna happen right before we pay it off. But I now have 8,000, which is not bad at all. Alright. What do you want? I've been dreading this, alright. So, now you know what everyone. What am I? Are you here to tell me off? I wouldn't blame you if you were. Alright. No, I'm not here to tell you off. Truth be told, I wanted to check in to see how you were doing. Not great, struggling. About how you'd expect. Left off in a bad place. Alright. Any thoughts about that last run? The red crawls up a Glory's neck. Nose whistle, look at me. Ends her sculpted metal arms. I'm not far from being what that poor troll was when I think of what they did to him. She's not super happy with me. You handed it over, Nose Whistle, like a piece of merchandise, like a thing. You shouldn't have done that. I should have stopped you, but I didn't, and I don't like what that says about me, alright? Alright, left off in a bad place. What did I say? Be tied up. And finally she nods. Yes, I've been thinking about this for a long time. Nose whistle, and every time that I've gotten close to making a decision, I've turned and run away again. No more running. I'm ready to face this thing, but I can't do it alone. I'm going to need your help. Glad that we're on the same page. Alright, if we're going to do this, we need to be clear on what our goal is. There are a lot of innocent people in that place. Lost street kids who got sucked in by Marta and the other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. And there's also Haro to consider. I want that man dead. Lord knows he deserves it, and if we don't make killing him our top priority, he might get away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else, but we can't find him, and all this will have been for nothing. We're likely to run into other complications as well, so I think that we need to make a decision here up front. What would you do in my place? Rescue the kids or take down Haro? I don't think that we can manage both. But if, I mean, we kill Haro, like, Haro just works for the adversary, and the adversary's not going anywhere. So, if we kill him, he's just a tool. So, it's really not that much different than killing anyone else who's been brainwashed by him, you know? So, I don't know. Put down. Haro needs to die. I don't want any other kids hurt or killed, but Haro, that bastard, has to pay for what he did to me. He has to pay for what he did to all of us. I won't let this happen again. He needs to die. Right. Meet me at the van when you're ready to go. It's a long drive from here to the Schönbuch. See you there. It's not like we were doing anything else. The objective to take the van to Haro's compound. This isn't the best of time. So I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna stick with me for a while. What they did to that troll was sick. You weren't even here. On paper, you did everything right. We did our job to the letter. The client got paid and everyone went home happy. But between you and me, I wish that we could have put that poor creature down. The MKVI was a real-life person once, just like you and me. We handed him over to Schmidt like a piece of merchandise. Yeah, like word for word says the same thing, alright? Sit with me for a while. There's a long pause. She turns her PDA so she can look at the screen. This. A holopic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handle, the Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. I ran up against him in my KSK days. Tell me more. His specialties are social engineering and wet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of the opposition, and forges alliances with existing street gangs. All of the groundwork that a syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, Nose Whistle, and my contacts spotted him in Schottennest. Why should we care for the Schottennest? It's a dump. And goes to the Kreuzbotzer for comfort. Exactly. I've seen what the engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town that he was softening up after the syndicate moved in. Nose Whistle, I have to stop him before it's too late. Whatever happened to that town, it can't be allowed to happen again in Schottennest. Alright, agreed. You know what he's working for now. The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you'd expect on examples. Alright. Well, I know for a fact that he's working for mafia groups operating inside and outside of Russia, and he put in a lot of time with the Lobachevsky syndicate. I'm surprised I feel like I pronounced that right. Anyway, he's taken contracts with the triads as well. My contacts tell me he's even done a few jobs for Tamanus. Alright, that's a hell of a resume. Alright, so what do? We stop him, or rather I stop him. I can't ask you to put off our mission for this, but the engineer has to be stopped, so I'm gonna have to disappear for a run or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the Feuerfinger situation. I get it, but I just have to... If I can't just sit back and let this happen, I won't. The Kreuzbotzer is at risk. It's too important a job to rest on the shoulders of one person. I'm going with you, end of story. Alright, fearless leader, you're right. I could use the help, but the others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be a quiet job, 2 people max. Sure you're prepared for this. If you can't hold up your end, I'll be better off on my own. Okay. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at Der Weinkeller. I've got a contact who's going to join us there, and he can help us figure out our next step. There's contact. Alright, Diet Rich, what do you got? What you need, boss? I didn't like to share. Nobody likes me. There's nothing about that run that didn't disgust me. What they did to that troll wasn't right, boss, on any level. Look, I get why you handed the MKVI over. It was the job after all, but I've seen a lot. I would have been a lot happier if you'd killed that thing. Dates on Alexander. Nothing new, boss. He's adjusting. It's going to take some time. Back when we took on Humanus, you said that you fought in the Night of Rage. I'd like to hear more about that. Alright, boss, we can talk about it. So, I already mentioned that Berlin's punks and anarchists joined forces to fight off I'm an anarchist at heart, always have been, but I'm a Mr. Camp, well, we're out to fight the races, I get dialogue, text. I'm not in the mood to do what I said earlier. Yeah, but I have it's an interesting idea, but there are risks. I'm thinking about that this might not be the best times to approach him about it. He's the source of my magic, remember? If our discussion turned into an argument, he could take all that magic back in a heartbeat, and then where would we be? Alright, I'm going to try to change the logic. Yeah. You've got a point there, boss. He wouldn't want me to back down, ever, not even from him. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'll ask the Dragon Slayer about shifting priorities, I guess you'd say. Taking on some deserving organization, and calling off the hunt for some thing more impressive than Firewing was the fact that it would never really end. I'm never going to bring down a corporal poly club all on my lonesome. But maybe that's not a bad thing. I take a lot of the guesswork out of life. I don't know, boss. If you have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear them. There's a good dragon. I tie yourself to a specific group. I say keep it in food, stomp anyone that threatens the flux. That's what it's all about. Interesting, that's a different approach, but I like it. Hang on a second, I'll ask. Closes his eyes and concentrates. Minutes pass, slowly a smile creeps across his face. Yeah, I think that he'd like this plan just fine. That was it? That was all it took? The Dragon Slayer doesn't mince words, boss. If he didn't like the plan, he'd have told me. Well, boss, I've got myself a plan, and a new target to boot. That's assuming, of course, that any of us make it through our current predicament alive. Got a handle on your character with the Dragon Slayer? Yeah, boss, I was thinking the same thing. Maybe I could give back a bit and fix some of the damage I caused in my misspent youth after we finished dealing with the crisis of Father's Day. Is that right? Never mind. Alright. There's a gray thing. Mission computer. Alright, smile, or again, nose whistle. I've recovered one last DVD for you, but I'm afraid that's all you're gonna get. Might as well use the rest as coasters, they're all beyond repair. You'll find the disc that I salvaged. To be honest, that was a lie. To recover this last disc, I was forced to subcontract. Schrody's still a brute of a man. I am unimpressed with his manner, and his poor hygiene disgusts me, but he is very good with old things such as this. All credit where it's due. Alright. Yeah, this is the... The player ramps up to speed, filling the air with a shrill whining sound. Green word face appears on the screen. It's 2050 0428. This is it, the interview. I took some time digging to find it, but here it is, my big brother back in his prime. The note just appears for a moment, the screen goes blank, suddenly the image of a news correspondent flashed on the screen, accompanied by a brief orchestral flourish. Timestamp August 22nd, 2012. Thank you for joining us. We are coming to you live from the ruins of Sangerhausen, the fifth Harz Mountain town to be sacked by the Dragon Feuerschwinge. Standing by my side is the head of Deal Defense, Dr. Adrian Falklauer. Dr. Falklauer has been hailed as a leader in the effort to bring down Feuerschwinge and end her reign of terror. How do people know her name? Or the dragons, I don't know. Dr. Falklauer, tell us about your efforts to bring down the dragon. Killing the monster has proven difficult, to say the least. Her speed and maneuverability in the air are extraordinary. Her scales repel small arms fire, and her breath can melt steel. Our R&D teams have been working around the clock to devise a weapon capable of downing the beast. In the interim, we are providing material support for the Luftwaffe's attempts to shoot her down via conventional means. Herr Falklauer, why are you directing Deal Defense's energies to the killing of the Feuerschwinge? Are there corporate interests at play in this? Corporate interests? No, this is a matter of human interest. Innocent lives are being extinguished at an appalling rate. I am in a position to help put an end to the slaughter, and so I must. It really is that simple. Dr. Falclar, you must understand my skepticism. Our viewers aren't looking for a PR statement. They came to us for the true. I'm afraid that I don't have time to go back and forth on this. Your viewers can think whatever they wish. My concern is in helping the people affected by this tragedy. In that case, Dr. Falclar, I thank you for sharing your valuable time with us. You're very welcome. To the viewers at home, stay safe and watch the skies. Salvation is coming, I promise. Again, that's Dr. Adrian Falclar, CEO of Deal Defense. Dr. Falclar is the chief architect of the military's current plan to bring down the Dragonfall. Stay tuned for more late-breaking news on the battle for the Harz Mountains. We'll be right back. All right. With that, we got play track 2. The look of astonishment on his face. Holy shit! I just stumbled onto some of Adrian's old lab notes. I'm not going to say how I came across these. Someone might get hurt if the wrong people watch this, but I've checked them against some of Adrian's old handwriting samples, and they're legitimate. Holy shit, this is big. Alright. Okay, back up, slow down, breathe. Okay, so these notes, they pretty much confirm something that I'd always suspected. The Luftwaffe didn't shoot down Feuerschwinge. I mean, they tried. They pumped thousands of rounds into the air around her, and they lobbed rockets at her for months. Lost a lot of attack helicopters and fighter craft in the process, but none of those things were responsible for taking her down. The Dragonfall was caused by an experimental warhead, one that Adrian and the Deal Defense think tank designed. I don't understand the science of it, not even a little bit, but from what I can piece together, it looks like they designed some sort of chemical/radiological agent that acts on the metagene. I don't think that they fully understand what they were doing. It was 2012 after all. I mean, the process worked, but I don't know if they've understood why it worked. Anyway, when a warhead full of this stuff comes into contact with a dual-natured creature, like a dragon, say, it drives a wedge between that creature's physical and astral forms. Okay, well, Green Winters is only a magic expert. There's a wedge between that creature's physical and astral forms. The body gets put into a sort of hibernation state, and the spirit is forced out. It also looks like this process can maintain the state of separation indefinitely, and that's pretty horrifying thought. It is corporated bodies supposed to die in a few hours. I've heard horror stories about ghost walking mages getting trapped in astral space, unable to rejoin with their meat. I heard they went crazy from the pain. If what I'm reading is accurate, it is highly possible that Feuerschwinge has been trapped outside of her body for over 40 years. This is why Adrian was always so cagey about the subject of Feuerschwinge after the Dragonfall. He knew for a fact that she was still alive, even if only technically. Her body crashed down into the socks, sure, but she wasn't dead. The government wouldn't let Adrian tell the public about any of this, of course. It did interfere with the lie that they were feeding us, that the Firewing was dead, and that everyone was safe, and that people should stop hiding in their basements and get back to work again. But privately, he always said that she was still out there, somewhere deep in the socks. I'd always thought that he was paranoid, but I was wrong. He knew. So what does all of this mean? It means that the stories I got from the ghost rat suddenly sound a lot more plausible. I mean, it means that Feuerschwinge is definitely alive, and that Adrian's disappearance is unquestionably tied to her survival. It also means that Germany is in deep shit, because if Feuerschwinge is still alive, it's only a matter of time before she rears her ugly head again. Okay, that's enough for one night. I'm gonna go get drunk. Sounds like a plan. Play track 3, the DVD maps up to speed, filling the air with a shrill whining sound. Green Winter's face appears on the screen. He looks younger than you've ever seen him, but from the way he's carrying himself, he's clearly drunk. The timestamp on the video reads 20:33:05:15. Look, Adrian, I understand you. Lord knows I do, but you've got to stop this dragon fixation. People are starting to talk. There's a camera cut, and you find yourself looking at a young, handsome Dr. Adrian Falclar. Why would he be young and handsome? He was functional back in 2012. He was like young-ish back in 2012, so 33 years later. It's 2033, that's 21 years later. He'd have to be in his... He was already a CEO in 2012. Why would he be Young and I don't know. Oh, they're talking, are they? What a terrible shame. Alright, oh, who's gonna be that guy? Damn it, Adrian, this is serious. You're a public figure. You could lose everything if you don't keep these ridiculous fairy tales to yourself. Hermie, my theories are not, as you call them, fairy tales. Dragons are real. I saved Germany from one. Have you forgotten? No, of course not. Everyone knows that you killed the Firewing. Stop, not killed. Fine, stopped, whatever. And call it whatever you want, but Adrian, you're the only one who's still obsessed with this damn thing. The damn things. There aren't that many of them, and they're not taking over the world. Such as the cry of the cancer patient, unaware of what's killing him. I'm fine, not to worry. I'll smoke another cigarette. What's the harm? What's happening? You can see what's happening, but he winds up dead all the same. Now you're just being maudlin. Look, Adrian. You mark my words, Army. Within 5 years, corporations, even countries, will fall to these creatures, and the worst part is, nobody will care. Oh, people will tut-tut about it. There may be a protest or two, but nobody will actually do anything to stop them. The immortal, all-powerful, utterly pitiless reptiles will seize more and more of our power, wealth, and territory, and we foolish, short-sighted mortals will never get it back. Alright? Come now, Ad. We could solve the problem, of course, but we, as a species, are unwilling to invest our energy into problems that aren't staring us right in the face. As it is with climate change, oh, drop it. So it is with dragons. I've accepted that, but you can't ask me to stop caring about it. You're hopeless, Adrian. Fine. By all means, keep caring. Just keep your conspiracy theories to yourself. I'm telling you this for your own sake. Yes, Herman, you're right, of course. I mustn't jeopardize my credibility with the masses. It's not just your credibility that I'm worried about. Talk is talk, but sometimes I worry that you're really going to go back to the Sox. Hermie, please, big brother, just drop all of this, stop hunting the Firewing, and start living your life again. You want to do it for yourself, then for Christ's sake, do it for me. Alright, Hermie, I'll try. Alright. So we can play track 4. A rattling sound for the guys describes the tray with text. User Jolly Green. Last active 1/15/54. Sex M. Metatype human. Ethnicity Caucasian. Body type muscular. Age 50. Looking for. Last active. So he was like 6. No. 54. He's 50. Okay, age 50, like 25 to 30. That's highly unreasonable. I love a guy who's also a great listener. I love hiking, clubbing, all kinds of pets. Very cute, funny, adventurous girl who's down to party. I don't respond to profiles without pics. No orcs, trolls. No trolls. Sorry, ladies. Okay. He is shooting for the goddamn stars. I'd fuck an orc. I mean, like a troll. Like, if she went down on you, like, I feel like her horns might, like, gouge your stomach. But, you know, we don't have to do that, but I don't know. Probably type muscular, sure it is. If he's 50, he could have lied about his fucking... If he's 50... Yeah, 50, he would have been 8 when it all happened. So, I don't know. Sorry, ladies. This growls again. Check the DVD. Alright. Step away. Alright, I wanted to talk to Blitz. I mean, you smoke, but that was my last one, alright. That last one you like to share. You're gonna say the same shit. Left excitement. The MKVI was an incredible piece of engineering, Chief. Never seen anything like it before, and the fact that it was rigor enabled, oh man, the potential ramifications of this technology is staggering. I love how he's a man of strong moral clarity. Right there. And as we handed it over intact, I mean, I feel sorry for the troll that they installed all that stuff into and all that. The feat of cyber engineering was a thing of beauty. It would have been a pity to destroy it. That whole Emily situation work out. New. Yeah, well, it's mostly speculation, to be told. She's dead. No, I don't think so, but I do have a new lead. After our talk, I went wading into all of the Az Technology Matrix hubs that I could find, nothing too deep. Don't worry, I didn't want to set off any alarm bells, but I had a hunch that if I poked around long enough, I'd find something that might lead me to Emily. That's really vague. And sure enough, I did. A message from the genuine article herself. Nicely done. Hey, thanks, Chief. Always good to get a little recognition for my work. Anyway, I can tell you what her note said if you want. It's for the said, and I quote, "Lay off Blitz. I told you to leave me alone. You've shown admirable self-control over the past year. Please don't give up on it now. I'll be back when I can, if I can. Until then, keep away from me for both of our sakes, alright?" Okay, so she's probably doesn't work for the Azzies, but she's trying to make us or deal with them in some way. So I found her, and she wants nothing to do with me again. No explanation, no apologies, just a verbal pat on the head. I've shown admirable self-control, really? She makes it sound like I'm a toddler or something. So did you laugh like the message said? Hell no, I wasn't going to stand for that. Where did she get off stealing it from me and then acting like it was my fault? I tried to trace the message like any good Decker would. I note your use of the word tried. She's good, Nosewhistle. Better than I ever thought she was. I couldn't trace the damn thing. I could keep digging, though, I mean, if she noticed me doing it before, I must have been close. Now, before you say anything, I was more discreet this time. I can't be subtle if I have to. Nobody noticed what I was doing, and I did find another clue. I hesitate to ask. That's okay, I'll tell you anyway. About a connection between Emily and Sator Krupp. So do you think that she works for SK then? That she stole the encrypted data from you to give it to them? Well, maybe, I don't know. It's confusing. I was also able to track down some message fragments connecting her to Schockwellenreiter. So maybe she was a Sator Krupp mole. She got close to me so that she could, I don't know, so she could profit from my decking expertise. Maybe when she told me not to steal that data, she was using reverse psychology. That's gotta be it. She must have wanted me to take it. But then again, maybe she's with the Schockwellenreiter and she's screwing both the Azzies and SK over. If that's the case, then maybe she was with me because she's generally wanted to be. In either case, I should make an effort to find her. I mean, she's playing a dangerous game, whether she's with the SK or Schockwellenreiter. Maybe she's gotten herself in too deep. She might need help. I mean, why else would she send me such a cryptic message? It's all up to you, Blitz. At the end of the day, you're going to do whatever you want to anyway. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is up to me. It is up to me to save the woman I love, alright? I can't deck for shit, so... Get set, Chief. You're about to witness an event. When my gung-ho personality and legendary skills come together, the whole world stops and takes notice. Sure that does, Blitz. I can't wait to see how this plays out. You won't have to wait long. I know just the place to hit that same as technology data node that I stole the information from in the first place. I mean, know that I can get past the security, and my gut tells me that I'll find Emily there. Thanks for the encouragement, Chief. I know that this was the right thing to do, of course, but you've helped to quiet any lingering doubts I might have had. And now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a damsel in distress to rescue. Alright. There's another thing over here. No unread. Please help me find my daughter. Alright. Found my daughter. She ran away from home. She's human, in her early 20s with short blonde hair and a data jack. She was last seen wearing a light blue dress. Alright. This is not exactly the place we were looking for missing kids. How did you even get in here? I paid good money to get on here. I was told you people could help. If you got the new yen, you come to the right place. If I set you a number that you can reach me at. Kid routine, a classic. My money is on escaped wage slave. Wraith like 44. Here you do your homework, Ruby. Thread corp tracers. I'm gonna have a good backup plan for when you get stuck with a tracer. Barely managed to bug out of my apartment after a corp hit squad came knocking. Lesson learned: pat yourself down a couple times and make sure you don't have a tail. But if I miss something, I'd rather keep my safe houses, you know, safe. I've had good luck with RF blockers. I have a jamming grid set up near my safe house. It protects any signals a few miles away. I've got some cameras placed, so when someone shows up there, I know they were trying to find me. Then I do a thorough sweep to find the tracker. Sure, how long does it before they give up? Usually rule of threes. I keep projecting the signal to different locations. In my experiences, they give up after the third one is a dead end. Stop listening to that RF signal. No. So I'm still not sure why Schmidt paid me at all. Unless I guess the lodge threatened him or something, I don't know. Simi Kim weaves an awkward dance around scattered refuge. It's lovely singing, Kim. Do you like the song? Means tomorrow will be a better day. Monica used to say something like that. When I was tired, when I was sad, when I only wanted to sleep, she would tell me that. She told me I would forget, that the pain would go away. I've lived many lives, but I've been an orphan more times than anything. It was the first story I found when I needed to get away. Good here in the Kreuzwasser. It's good. I can get what I need from Zach Flash or Doc Escabel. Let me pay however I can. Monica was always nice, and Paul Amsel and the Angel is nice to me too, usually. I think he's gone now, but I can still stay, right? Of course you can stay, Kim. Thank you, thank you. I don't know what else I would do. The Sims. But I need them. Monica understood that, and Zach says they're safe. I don't know what I'd do without them. Without them, I dream, and I don't want to dream. I don't want to remember. Alright. They help me forget. They help me be strong and smart, and I never lose anyone. That makes it a good thing, right? I wish I could be. Alright. Can I do anything with the phone booth? Alright. I guess their wine cellar is supposed to be a wine cellar. Dware's group, you mean? Sure, I've done a few jobs for them. They pay well. The whole ominous secret organization thing. They try to keep going a little weird, but whatever, money's money, and they've got it. Tell me about Dware. Best I can tell, he's just a middle-rung toady, like any other corporate suit that you deal with before a run. Only difference is that his organization isn't a corp. I think he's a little fresh-faced for what the Lodge has him doing. In the beginning, there were some credibility issues. I had a hard time taking the guy seriously. But then he started waving Watson Nguyen around. That all cleared up in a flash. I'm afraid that I can't help you dig any deeper. He's an occasional client. Even if I knew more about Dware, I wouldn't tell you. Shadowrunners who kiss and tell have a funny way of dying young. Yeah, but the Kreuzbusters is the place to do it. It's the best place to do it. There are a ton of jobs out there if you don't have a network. For the Kreuzbuster. Nope, my crew's in Mitte. There is lots of work out here. If you can handle it, but life isn't as pleasant there as it is in the Kreuzbusser. I mostly visit your lovely little kiosks between runs to restock and relax. It's a good place for that. Nice and slow-paced. It's quaint. Don't suppose I would. Like I said, I've got a team of my own, good people who've earned my loyalty 100 times over. I could do a little moonlighting here and there, but they wouldn't take it kindly if I up and bailed on them. Better that stay like this. If you need me for a run, I'm available. You just need to pay me first. Keep things clean and simple. Good. Nope. It's called their wine cellar for a reason. The guy behind the bar is more like a Bush League sommelier. Then he is a proper bartender. Bartender knows a bit about wine, but when it comes to mixing drinks, he's useless. If you want a drink, I'd recommend sticking to something simple. Try ordering something with more than 2 ingredients, and you're asking for trouble. So you're a wine drinker then? Me? No, never developed a taste for it. I'm not a big fan of sweet things, never have been, not even when I was a kid. I've always preferred smoke. Not at a wine bar. Because it's usually empty in here, and I don't like to be bothered, and as helpless as the bartender is, it's tough to mess up scotch if you order it neat. Question, or I gotta run see around, alright. Alright. Bannock. This dwarf has a distinctly Eurasian appearance. He peers up at Iger through almond-shaped eyes. The rest of his broad face is dominated by strong Slavic features. He nods to himself and puts down his mug of Soykov. On the edge of his table, a plate of day-old pie cools in a haze of cigarette smoke. Boy, Iger, been a long time. Keeping busy. You could say that. Nose whistle, this is Bannock. He's a friend. Don't know if I go that far. Nothing personally understand. If I were to start keeping friends, I might call you one, but in my experience, friendship and obligation go hand in hand. A solitary life is cleaner, alright. Professional acquaintance, then. Better. Now let's get down to business, shall we? Let's get down to business. We need intel on the engineer, where he's staying, who he's working for, and how long he's been in Shotnest. Whatever you've got, we want it. I've had worse, and of course, I'll give you what I can, but I don't know much. I can point you in the right direction, that's all. Those of you can, we'll handle the heavy lifting. Nods, fumbles a jacket for something a moment later. Alright, what you're looking at is the northwest quadrant of Shotnest. This is gang territory. All of it these days, the whole Kietz is being held by a Rambok. Before we can handle that. I'd heard they'd taken a hit a little while back. That was you, huh? Well, good on you, but you should know they're still alive and well, and that the guy who took over gang leadership is a real piece of work. If anything, they're worse than they were before. You figured out. This warehouse right here is Rambok HQ, and that's where the engineer is staying. Wonderful. If he's staying there, he must be arranging some sort of deal with them. That'd be the safe bet. And they would have pulled their guns on him yet, so it's fair to assume that negotiations are going well. I'm sure that I don't have to tell you this, but the last thing we need is an alliance between some foreign syndicate and Rambok. No good could come of that. Can't argue with that. Now, I can't tell you who the engineer is working for. You'll have to ask him about that yourself. But what I can do is make it easier for you to have a sit down with him. Bannock reaches the table and brings up a canvas bag and pushes it forward. Don't open that in here. There are people in this room who would kill you for what's in that bag. And kill them first. Alright, tough guy, I get it. You're a whiz. Just do me a favor and keep the damn bag closed, okay? What was what you brought for us, Bannock? What you're gonna find in there is a gadget about the size of a water pistol, has a rubberized grip and a hair trigger, and it's good for one shot. Is it a stun gun? No. Well, not really. For your purposes, you might as well think of it as one, though, alright? The object in question is a cyberware deactivator. I had it shipped here at great personal expense from a supermax prison in the UCAS. The warden owed me a favor. Very nice, Bannock. That should make this easy. Not easy, possible. I wouldn't be giving it to you if the job could be done without it. The engineer is rocking a Delta-grade move-by-wire system. Unless you can shut it down, there's no way in hell you're going to catch him. And if we do shut it down, he'll be forced into a state of permanent seizure. Only until he gets the thing up and running again. Deactivate isn't the same thing as broken. Until then, his life will be a living hell, but I can think of worse things to use as a bargaining chip. Remember, you need to know who he works for. The more you can take him out of his comfort zones, the better. That's it. Making people uncomfortable is my specialty. True words have never been spoken. Thanks, Bannock. Let you know how things work out. Don't bother, I'll be watching, alright? Alright. I think I'll call it quits for here. Alright.